So Robbie Lawler pulled out of his fight. Now, Robbie Lawler, to back up, is scheduled to take on Mike Perry, which is a dream fight in many ways. I mean, can you guys agree with me on that? That was going to be a lot of fun. I can't remember Robbie Lawler pulling out of anything for any reason. So I think he's hurt, but I'm sure, as you could imagine, the average person's hurt versus Robbie Lawler's. Like, Robbie's got to really be hurt is my message. So if you guys have a moment, go on social media and send a good wish to Robbie Lawler. For some reason, I think he must have got to have something broken. He probably got two things broken for Robbie to pull out. But to talk about that event, don't forget, guys, that's in November. So Mike Perry has now called out Chimaev. And there's some moving parts on that, right? Before any of you think that Mike Perry is just having fun and he's safe of having to fight Chimaev because Chimaev is going to fight a month later against Leon, guys, that's Chimaev. That's the whole gimmick. I could very much see them saying, okay, and putting Chimaev in there with Perry. I very much could see that. Now, it looks as though the days of having fun with Chimaev and living the two-fight gimmick back-to-back could be done. I mean, when you're getting ready to take on Leon Edwards in a main event, which would qualify you for a title shot. I don't mean that you are going to be given a title shot. I mean, you now qualify to be one of the few guys in the discussion for a title shot. He's going to have a big, fancy, beautiful number next to his name if he gets by Leon. So I don't know that the days of having fun and running this back-to-back thing are still there with Chimaev, but I don't see why they don't need to be. I don't. I don't see why he cannot step in and take on Mike Perry and then go right in and take on Leon. In many ways, and in all fairness, Leon's the harder fight. In all fairness, Leon's the harder fight. Don't forget, when they were going to do this same routine last time, it ended up not happening, but when they were going to do it, it was going to be Damian Maia second. Meaning Damian Maia is going to be the harder fight, and whoever they gave him before Damian Maia, somebody at least thought, whether they wanted to try to hide it or not, that Chimaev was more likely to beat. I bring that to your attention because it's the same thing now, right? It's the same thing now. Leon's going to be the harder fight. Perry's going to be the less hard fight. Perry's going to go first. Leon second. I have a feeling we're over here talking about nothing. I have a feeling that Perry's going to get a little bit of rub for calling out the guy that nobody wanted to fight, and then he's not going to have to fight him himself. I think it's worth talking about, though. I mean, you're not out of the woods when you call out Chimaev. You're not in the clear just because he's scheduled to fight somebody else. You would be with any other fighter. Any other fighter on the roster, if they're already got something to do and you go call them out and try to bang your chest and get a headline out of it, good for you. The smart marks in the room are going to know it was a cowardly move. You did it because you don't want to fight him. Oh, and by the way, you can't fight him. That's not the case here with Perry calling out Chimaev. That's Chimaev. I hope you guys encourage it. I like the gimmick. I like the two. I like the back-to-back. I like the different weight classes myself. I hope he continues to go from 170 to 185. That's the only resentment I have to having him locked in with the number 3 guy in the world in a main event. Only resentment I have is that if he gets that number 3 ranking and it's at 170, he's probably going to have to put all his focus at 170. No. Let's run this. Let's run this guy. 85, 70, back-to-back. Pile up the matches. Get him a big fat record like Donald Cerrone's got. It's fun. It's unique. It's never happened before. I don't want it to be over. I think we're going to find our answer real quickly. Is the Chimaev, I'm talking the gimmick part, is the gimmick over? He has a date in December. He's being offered a date by Perry. He's being called out in November. If the gimmick, is it dead? We're going to find out. I want to keep it alive.